kind of a sick fascination with people who just can't stop train wrecking their lives. I don't know what it is about them, but I just find them so interesting.
Yeah, you love the lol cow communities.
I do.
You can't look away.
I can't.
See, that's what Kanye is. Kanye is a lol cow. He just happens to be a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
A millionaire. 100%. He's a billionaire.
I thought he was still in the bees. Is he not?
I think he is.
Yeah,
I'm going off the Chappelle skit, so fact check me.
Yeah, I mean,
I do like Dave and Kanye, so I trust him.
Did
he
you
said, put your necklace back, or put your chain back on.
But Kanye also has done some very impressive things. Most of these people haven't. Kanye has made some really amazing music. He has
College Dropout.
Music.
Yeah.
College Dropout, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. When was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy? Wasn't that like 2010? Graduation was like 09.
Yeah, because the Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was the album 2010. I was in college and everyone was listening to it a ton. It was huge.
Yeah. When was Life of Pablo? Was that 2013?
Still, we're talking about a decade ago since he's made music. Like Kim Kardashian,
2016. Okay.
Fed in something about her and that relationship, like messed with him and his mental illness. Because clearly he's like got some brand of mental illness. Always, it's part of. I don't know if you'd call it genius. He screams that he's a genius so much that I'm hesitant to affirm that. But man,
I've seen a lot of people talk about it being wrapped up in some kind of porn addiction for him too. Yeah,
that's part of it. Yeah.
That does seem like a lot of it, because he will, like we talked about it weeks ago when he went on that like spur gout on Twitter, where it was like, I'm a Nazi. Look at me in Nazi retire. Actually, I'm not a Nazi. I'm a KKK. And then look at me in KKK attire. And then like 15 minutes later, he's like, I love interracial pornography. And then it was just pages and pages of videos of him being like, I like it when girls take the nut on their face. And it's just over and over, just so much
What's
fun.
really funny about him though is sometimes he is funny even when he's like trying to be funny. Like he can, like, you can be in on the joke. It's not just laughing at him. Like that Super Bowl ad he did for the swastika t-shirt or whatever. He was like, I spent all the money for the ad on my teeth, so Jesus.com. That's funny.
Yeah,
you know, he didn't get the fish stick joke from South Park.
That only makes that episode funnier.
There are interviews of him. He's like South Park said I like fish sticks because I wear my pants tight. Now you look around, everybody's wearing tight pants. That's fashion. And he's like, dude, did you really not get the fucking joke? Because the joke is that you wouldn't get the joke, and you're telling me you really didn't get the joke? Because that's like jokeception.
I haven't heard the joke. Can you help me?
You like fish sticks?
I mean, I used to.
What, you gay fish?
I'm gay fish?
What are you, a gay fish?
No.
You just told me you like fish sticks.
Oh, fish. Okay.
So the premise of the episode is Jimmy writes this joke. It becomes like part of pop culture. Jimmy Kimmel's telling the joke. Jay Leno's telling the joke. The whole world is on the joke. Kanye doesn't get the joke. And it's making him mad.
For a man with a way with words, you'd think he would.
Exact, and that's what he says. He's like, you don't have to break it. They keep trying to break it down.
I'm a genius.
You don't break it down for me. I'm a lyrical genius. All right? You talking about vocabulary, please. And he's like torturing Carlos Mencia because Carlos Mencia steals the joke, of course. And he's torturing him because he's like, you wrote the joke. You explain it to me. And they're breaking his fingers and like gouging his eyes out and shit. He's like, come on, don't you get it? It's fish sticks. It's fish sticks. It sounds like fish sticks. He's like, yeah, right. He like goes back to torturing him, but he really did in the show. He thinks it's because he's a gay fish, and at the end, he has this whole like. There's a musical number called "Gay Fish" that I listen to 3 or 4 times a day because I think it's great. But the whole point of the episode was that Kanye West doesn't get the fucking joke, and he thinks that people are calling him a gay fish, and his only reaction in the show is that maybe I am a gay fish. Maybe I am. Make that,
Yeah, maybe I've been in denial about it. If he's meta joking about not getting the joke now,
no,
that would be very funny.
No,
but given
if you
how
watch the interview,
brash he is, I don't think he's being meta and subversive. He seems to just be very overt, where he's like, I like the way the KKK dress, and I like them. And it's
no.
What does he mean by that?
Whoa, no, that's not what he's doing. No, so the
now?
KKK. No. So the KKK, you're talking about two different things, and he's got two messages with each thing. The Nazi thing is about his dislike for Jews. The Klan thing is him like sort of poking a finger at white America and having a whole American racial commentary. Because when he's talking about everything's made by the white man and going on a rant about that. That's the same reason he said that he might name his album Black Cock. Black Cock or White Rape? What should I name my album? That's about America and white-black racism. That's what the Klan thing is, and he's making a statement there. But the Nazi thing is separate from that. That's about his general dislike for Jews, Zionism, and his belief in a New World Order, Illuminati, puppet master, Jews controlling media and banks sort of thing. It's just a weird coincidence that they did get debanked for saying that stuff. There's no validity to anything Kanye's ever said, but they're separate things. And
So
he's not
true.
just, and you heard that Bully song or that cut from Bully where he's like, say that I'm a Nazi. It's crazy. It's a Nazi song. It's something about reading 2 chapters of Mein Kampf every night before bed. And there's like crazy shit in there.
That's so fun. I could imagine Kanye, like maybe he got like 9 pages into Mein Kampf and then his mind was made up. And so now he's like pretending he's read all of it with
Have you read
his
it?
opinions many years ago. Yeah.
How old were you?
Probably early 20s, mid 20s. I was
Is it
curious.
hard to
interesting?
understand?
It was like it was mostly like if you were to read it, Woody, you'd be like, get to the point. You'd be like,
sounds like
you are taking a long time to get to stuff. But like it's mostly just like politics and blaming Jews and being like the Jews are bad because of this. They encourage this in our culture, and I'm gonna put a stop to it. Like it's mostly like political
I'm
jargon.
afraid there's something about 800 year ago German history that I'd be lacking to understand.
No.
Okay.
His beef has to do with World War I that he fought in. He felt like it was a just war that they were winning.
I said
that the
1200
Jews-
years ago Europe.
It's like 1907, but he he's mad about that. And you have to keep in mind he's writing the book while being imprisoned at the time, being held in Germany for his first little rise to power, we'll call it, or attempt thereof. Yeah, not a nice guy, real rapscallion. Generally disliked.
You read some of it and you're like, I can see why this guy was largely disliked. I can see where he turned a lot of people off.
Ford loved him though. Henry Ford. I've been learning more.
I think
and more
Ford
about
just
that.
liked the efficiency.
You ever read Ford's little manuscript he penned? It's called "The World's Foremost Problem: The International Jew."
He's like, we're going to have this in every waiting room when we're trying to finance people.
Prescott Bush liked him too. George H.W.'s dad. Pretty sure he was a big fan.
That probably
sending
checks
some money
out.
over there. You guys know about the business plot? You guys know anything about this?
Tell me.
The business plot. Fill me in.
So I was reading about this. It's super fascinating. There's a great Wikipedia article about it for anyone who wants to read it. The business plot was back in the early 1900s, like 1920, something like that. They got rid of the gold standard, right? Which was like, when the US dollar stopped being backed by gold, which was a big deal at the time. A lot of people were upset about that. My understanding of it is that FDR got rid of it so that he could print more money to prevent the Great Depression from getting worse, is my understanding.
And fund
roughly
the New Deal, right?
Yeah, fund social programs. So a lot of business owners were mad about that because it was devaluing their money. And so their plan was, what if we just had a coup on the United States government? So what they did is they talked to this one general. I can't remember his name, but he was a World War I hero. He was a big deal. And I think he was in some way the head of the Veterans Association, the VA. And they talked to him and they were like, hey, we want you to get 500,000 veterans to march on Washington and take over the government. You're going to be our new dictator through which we will give our orders and control the American populace, particularly the economy, because they wanted to make more money. Prescott Bush was implicated in this. And the idea was, we will take back America, reestablish the gold standard, fix our problems, take the money back, right? Now, the business plot didn't end up going through because this general wasn't cool with it. And he ended up testifying in Congress about it. But Congress, for whatever reason, didn't end up calling or even naming a lot of the other people involved to testify in Congress. No charges were carried out. Nothing really happened. I think that guy died in a military hospital like 3 years later. It wasn't some conspiracy death. He died of like polio or some shit you get back then, right? It's just like incurable. But very fascinating story. And yes, Prescott Bush was involved. He was one of the people who tried to have it done. Well, look at we are today. Look at where we are. Maybe it could have fixed everything.
Couldn't fix it all.